Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we are going to be talking about Stellar Lumens, aka XLM. So with that being said, let's just dive in. And I just want to give you guys a quick warning that I am recording this video a little bit earlier on in the day, so price action is most likely going to change drastically by the time that this does go live. But nonetheless, I do mainly want to focus on the gains, not so much the price action here. One of the biggest things that I've always talked about around XLM and XRP on this channel is that you should be holding both of these assets, and it's very simple why. They mimic each other. I even said over on Twitter, going all the way back to December of 2021, I said stacking XRP should also include stacking XLM. Take one look at the chart of XRP and compare it directly to XLM and it will blow your mind. And yes, here you guys have it. On the recent price move of XRP getting cleared, we've seen XRP skyrocket 97, almost 98%. XLM followed very closely by it with 100 and almost 6% exact move. And as we do look at the price action today, very, very similar structure. Now, of course, XLM, the moves do look a little bit different compared to XRP simply because XLM does have a smaller market cap. It also has a lot less supply compared to XRP. Now, the way that I look at both of these is it's almost like brother and sister, right? Like you have to have both of them in your portfolio if you are holding one or the other. For most people, that might be easier said than done, which is totally fine, totally understandable. But I do look at XLM P2P, look at XRP, B2B. I hold very significant amounts of both of these in my portfolio for the long-term future ahead because I do see a very, very bright future for utility assets, and these two are mentioned on some incredible documents around the IMF, around the World Bank, you name it. So with this in mind, let's talk about a few things around XLM and let's talk about the exciting news happening around Stellar themselves. So shout out to Martin from Uphold. We did see 4 slides from yesterday's Stellar Org Q2 update. I have the update over here, which we will be addressing a little bit as well. But a few major things to really kind of talk about is the MoneyGram partnership. And we do see 1 year of MoneyGram access on the Stellar network. We do see celebrating 1 year with MGI, 180 plus countries, 300,000 locations, and 0 fees. We do see global accessible innovation, and we do see MoneyGram and Stellar at the bottom there. On the next slide, we do see 1 year of MoneyGram access yet again, kind of looked into, and then we also do see the Franklin on-chain US government money fund surpasses $270 million in assets under management. We also do see Sorbonne, preview releases 9 and 10. We also do see the event activations, some pretty great events. We also do see the Stellar Community Fund, 184 submissions and $3.2 million awarded. And then on the next slide, we also do see Sorbonne itself. This is a big innovation that we've been waiting for a little bit of time in terms of what it really does for the network. It's been one that we've been hyper focused on for a little bit of time now. Also, Vibrant, turn cash into crypto and crypto into cash. Vibrant is also another great use case and product within the Stellar ecosystem. Personally speaking, we are starting to see on and off ramps really ramping up through Stellar, and this is a great way to really target the retail sector and achieve mass adoption by having the back end infrastructure being utilized through this, which is awesome. Now, within the full quarter review breakdown, there's a few things to really kind of look at. So kind of scrolling all the way down, I want to get to the major thing, which is the network stats. So here's where we can see network growth. So in terms of total accounts, comparing it to Q2 of 2022 to Q2 of 2023, we see that this rose about roughly 500,000 users, 8% year over year, which is great to see in terms of accounts, not users, sorry. In terms of total payments, payment volume has dropped a little bit. Remember that when we look at payments, this is something that will most likely change a little bit because bear and bull markets. So we will see this probably rise within the next quarter update. But for the most part, we continue to still kind of focus on this heavily because this is a big one in terms of the network stats. Also, average daily decentralized exchange volume. We could see that this went from Q2 to Q2 of 2023. Went down, right? Average daily volume on Stellar's decentralized exchange hovered around 10 million XLM per day. Here you guys have that update. like I said, we will see significant drops like this. It is, something that we really kind of focus on during the bear and bull markets. Things will change as we do see the market sentiment change a little bit, and I think that we're already probably at that point. So like I said, like the next quarter update, this will most likely change drastically. Total operations up about 26.7%, which is always great to see. This is the total operations processed on the network continues to be one of the largest growth areas, surpassing 1 billion in quarter 2 of 2023, a gain of 26.7%. Relevant assets. So we do see when SDF measured the number of relevant assets in quarter 2 of 2022, the total number of these assets stood at about roughly 79, with transaction volume for the quarter amounting to about 258 million. As of quarter 2 of 2023, the total number of relevant assets has decreased year over year to 79 due to strengthening the reporting criteria determining what counts as relevant assets. In addition, despite the number of payments decreasing, the on-network transaction volume of relevant assets grew about 31.4% year over year. And here we have those relevant assets. We also see the value tied to them from 200 and about roughly 60 million to about 300 and almost 40 million. Also, decentralization update. We do see the average ledger close time. We also do see the total nodes. We also see the tier 1 validator nodes as well. And then in terms of making innovation easy and scalable, they do kind of talk a little bit about this with Sorbonne. Remember, we're still waiting for this thing to go fully live. This is going to be a big game changer. We do see launch a new state-of-the-art smart contract platform that is developer friendly, scalable, and is deeply integrated with Stellar. I think that that's going to be a game changer, especially for the network. So definitely focus on Sorbonne as we do get closer and closer to that launch. They also do talk a little bit more about winning over builders and stuff like that. But as we do look at Stellar today more than ever before, there's a lot happening here. I mean, they do talk a little bit more about these on and off ramps with USDC. Remember that XLM is still utilized for fees within all transactions, especially in terms of utilizing USDC. There's a small amount of XLM that is needed for accounts within the Stellar network. So I always say, like, the focus here is that XLM is still utilized heavily within the network. I know a lot of people have questioned the use case of XLM many times over and over again in the past, but I've talked about this many times in the past that XLM is utilized greatly within the network, and I do think that the future is very, very exciting nonetheless for Stellar and also XLM. And I think that is I think that that's been proven with the recent price action. Like I said, XLM and XRP are very strong assets. They've been around in the space for a very long time. So I do think that everyone should be really focusing on them. And with a lot of the recent movement from Stellar around adoption, it's been very exciting to watch this become a thing, because for the longest time, Stellar was kind of quiet, which I always like to see these networks building while being quiet, but I do also love to see updates. And recently, I will say Stellar has erupted on the social space, really kind of giving us more in-depth details around what's happening with some of these use cases. For an example, we do see 350 million people in Africa don't have access to bank accounts, and only 20% of families have formal bank accounts. Bond Bank One provides a real-world solution to this problem by turning 8 billion active prepaid SIM cards globally into virtual debit cards with Stellar. So this is also another great thing to really kind of look at. Like, they're trying to make adoption of crypto as easy as possible for the P2P space. Remember, this is more so P2P. This is also why I say, like, as we look at XRP and XLM, these are very similar use cases, but in completely different niche audiences. So they're targeting completely different sectors in terms of the financial space. And then also over here from Jeremy Allaire from, of course, Circle, USDC remittances and cash out expands into Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Nigeria, Ghana, and the UK via Honeycoin app, Stellar.org, and MoneyGram. So again, expansions are happening every single day within the Stellar network, which I'm always excited about. Listen, for those out there that don't realize the problem around cash and cash services, go travel to these third world countries or, just other countries outside of the US and try to get access to funds, or, maybe try to send money back home for anybody that has family overseas. Like, it's extremely hard, it's extremely challenging, and it's extremely expensive. That's why when we go back to the report and we kind of look at, I think Martin had it here, like when we look here and we see the zero fees, a lot of people think that that's a bad thing for XLM. It's not. Trust me, when we look at a lot of these use cases, you still have to hold XLM. You still have to, XLM is still a part of the journey, if you will. But the reason why this zero fees is such a huge thing for the P2P sector is because you have a lot of individuals that are sending money back home into these countries that are third world countries, or maybe they're low income areas. So they want to make sure that all of that money does get into the hands of their family members that need it most. And when you're paying these massive fees to send money, how is that changing anything? It's really not. So it's why I'm really kind of focused on what Stellar is doing with USDC, or I should say Circle, and even MoneyGram. And here we have, of course, Stellar Org USDC continues to gain traction as a fast, low-cost layer 1 for digital dollar payments around the world. Here you guys have from Bitso, a Latin American crypto company has integrated Stellar Org's Anchor network to allow companies around the world to make payments in Argentina, Colombia, and Mexico using USDC. Again, all of these are great innovations, great for adoption. And even when you look at the P2P sector, it is something that is very exciting because we are going to see payment innovation happening, especially around P2P and even B2B. But the best part about this is that this is a full focus point on how mass adoption will be achieved. Most people don't even realize that they're utilizing XLM, they're utilizing USDC, right? A lot of the wallets, though, are held using XLM. And even when you look at what's happening around with like XRP, right? Most of this is back end. So they're back end solutions utilizing, or being utilized, I should say, by giants like MoneyGram or even Circle, or you name it. So this is awesome to see. I think that this is very exciting to see as well. Again, it really just proves the idea that you should be holding XLM if you are holding XRP. If you're holding XRP, you should be holding some XLM. It doesn't hurt to diversify within these two assets because they do follow each other very, very closely. And sometimes the gains on XLM could be a little bit different compared to XRP in terms of being more or less. But for the most part, these two do really kind of follow each other closely. Like I said, I think that Stellar continues to expand on the on and off ramp front around the retail sector, really kind of onboarding a lot of individuals into crypto without them realizing that they're using crypto. I think Stellar solutions are very, very crucial for adoption, but also I think that they're crucial for these areas that really need it most. So very awesome to see. With that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are on this beautiful. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.